Welcome to the Poochie Baby Podcast. This is Michelle, your host, and I am the owner and operator of PoochieBaby.com. In today's episode, I'd like to talk to you guys about selling your products on Etsy. Now, Etsy is a very large handmade marketplace online where you can get on your computer or your tablet, your smartphone, and purchase all these great and wonderful handmade items by artisans all over the world. Originally, everything was all handmade over on the Etsy site. They have made some changes, which I will get into in a minute, but I began selling over on Etsy around in 2010, 2011, and I didn't put a whole lot of effort in when I first started, so I didn't do very well. But I started to up my game around 2012. I started listing more items that were finished products, which were my crochet products. And then I also started listing my crochet patterns on there also. And things started to take off, get much better. In 2013 and 2014, I did extremely well with my Etsy shop. I was even during the holidays making as much money from my shop as I was at my full-time job, which was great and fantastic. But after that, seems like things just really changed over there. They changed their policies. They began to allow third-party manufacturing, which means that now a lot of items come from overseas. They are manufactured and not necessarily handmade. They are cheaper to purchase, and in some cases, they can even be drop shipped directly to the customer. Now, if you've been thinking about opening up your own shop, I highly recommend that you do a lot of research online to see what sells, what doesn't sell. But of course, it's going to depend on what it is you actually do or what you're interested in, what your passion is, what you want to sell to customers. But there are some pros and cons to look at, and this is just my experience. I am not an expert on Etsy shops, so some of the pros that you have going for you are that there is a very large pool of customers on Etsy. It is a closed environment. You go on the site and people just search what they're looking for, and all of these listings come up. So it's not like you have to go out and look for a lot of customers. The customers are there. You just need to make sure that you have some good products, some good descriptions, some good tags on your products so that people can actually find what you're selling. Another pro is also that Etsy handles all the payment processing for you. You set up how you want to be paid. They have direct checkout where people can use credit cards or PayPal, or you can do both, and you get that all set up in the system, and they handle all of that for you. If someone pays you through PayPal, you get paid for that right away as soon as they pay, or if they pay with credit cards, you get paid that once a week. Etsy deposits those funds for you into your bank account. You can also ship directly from home using their shipping service. You can print out your shipping labels and just tape those onto your packages and send them out from your house. It's very easy to do. I do not use their shipping service because I'm signed up with stamps.com, but I will use it when there is international shipping because it's much easier to do that through Etsy with all the custom forms and everything that need to be handled. I don't like going to the post office so much, so I will do that through Etsy, but otherwise I use stamps.com. But all of that can be handled directly through the Etsy dashboard that you have for your store. And one more thing that can be seen as a pro for Etsy is that people tend to trust Etsy. There are many customers who prefer to purchase all of their items through their Etsy setup that they have on their computer or their phone. You know that you can go back and look at all the history, see everything that you've purchased. If you buy digital files, they are all still there. You can go back and re-download from your Etsy dashboard as a customer. They just trust Etsy, and they would rather keep it in the Etsy environment than go to an independent website to purchase something at another place. Moving on to some of the cons of selling on Etsy, the first would have to be that there is a massive amount of competition on Etsy. It doesn't seem that it matters what you are selling. There are so many shops on Etsy right now, including all of the ones that have the third-party manufacturing, that it's hard to get noticed. Pretty much the only way to be noticed is to go out and drum up your own business on social media or other places and send them to your shop on Etsy. or you pay high dollar fees for advertising and promoting your listings on the site. You can do that, but the prices of the advertising have really seemed to gone way up. It used to be much more affordable to kind of boost your listings on the site, get extra recognition, but it's going to cost you now if you want to do that. You also have to pay for every listing that you put on there. It's 20 cents for every listing, but the listing does last, I believe, 90 days or 120 days. They will automatically renew if you have them set to automatically renew. So every time they renew, it's another 20 cents. Keep in mind, 20 cents does not seem like a lot, but if you're selling in high volume, that adds up very quickly. You're also charged fees if you sell something. So not only are you paying for the listing, they're taking a cut of the payment whenever you do sell something. And if you're using PayPal, there are also the PayPal fees on top of that. So what you're selling it for is not what you're going to get for that product. In the grand scheme of things, it's really not too bad. You can pay more for a storefront. Of course, if you have a store and you're selling, you're going to have a lot higher fees. You're going to have all kinds of utilities. So even though the fees add up, if you're making a good profit, it's worth it to pay the fees to Etsy. Another con to selling on Etsy is that if they feel that you have somehow violated policies, they can just totally shut down your shop. And you almost have no recourse in that. So if you are only selling on Etsy and you're depending on that income and they decide to close you down, there's really not a whole lot that you can do about that. You can try to fight it, get your shop open back up, but I don't recommend that you sell only on Etsy because they can just shut you down. It's happened to many people, so keep that in mind. Another con for selling on Etsy is that people can give you negative feedback, and you really don't have a way to respond to that or to correct that. It's going to stay negative. You can have somebody who just wants to give you a negative comment or a negative review, and there's not a whole lot that you can do. Some people do deserve negative ratings, so that's one thing, but sometimes you just can't please a customer, and maybe you did your very best. You did exactly what you were supposed to do. The product is exactly what you say that it is, and they are still not happy, and you have no recourse to fix that. So these are just some of the things to keep in mind if you're thinking about opening up your own shop. Now, overall, I would say that it is worth it to have a shop on Etsy if you have products that you want to ship out, or if you have digital products that you would like to sell through the shop. I would recommend that you sell on other places besides Etsy. Maybe have your own blog where you sell through your blog. It's very easy to set up a shop on your blog, even using other free services, and sell through there. I wouldn't put all of your stock in Etsy. You know, the saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Well, that's very true. Keep yourself more than one shop going. It's extra work, but it's worth it because if they decide to close your Etsy shop, you have something to fall back on. And I would also recommend that the shop that you're promoting be your own shop rather than the Etsy shop, because you want to be able to own your own stuff. You want to have total control of the shop that you eventually sell out of. So it makes sense to sell from your own site because you own that. You totally control that. You're not going to shut yourself down. And you keep all the power there. Etsy is a really good alternative for many, many people. And if you are new to selling online, it is something that can be wonderful to help you get in the swing of things. It'll help you learn about selling online. It's a good way that you don't have to put a lot of money into it. It gets you out there. It gets your name out there, your shop out there. People get to start to know who you are. So it's great for that. I just don't recommend looking at that as a long-term solution. If you want to sell your products online, you can do both, and that might even bring in extra money for you, especially with the people who want to only buy on Etsy, because it gives them that option. If they don't feel comfortable purchasing directly from you on your website or your blog, they can go to your Etsy shop, and they know that they have those safeguards in place that Etsy has for their customers. So these are just some of my thoughts about selling on Etsy, some of the pros and cons of having a shop over there. If you have any questions, you can always find me online at Facebook. You can just search for @myPoochieBaby and my page will come up there. You can also find me on Pinterest, and that is my Poochie Baby. You can find me on Twitter at Michelle_Gaylor, also on Instagram at Michelle Gaylor. Don't forget to check out the blog where everything is over there listed on the site. Everything that I post, every podcast, every video eventually gets posted on the blog. So sign up for the newsletter and you will never miss anything because it will come directly to your email. This ends today's episodes. Thank you so much for listening, and I will talk to you guys next time.